when I was starting out backcountry skiing and I learned about the whole concept of avalanche types and problems, it really clued me into the danger rating and helped me make better decisions as a backcountry skier, because I learned that not all avalanche danger is the same. It really does depend on the avalanche type that you have and the avalanche problem that you're dealing with. So let's jump into it. So in regards to avalanche types, we have kind of 6 main ones that we like to talk about. But really, when we're referencing an avalanche type, we're talking about a categorization of avalanches based on the physical, objective, and easily observable characteristics, such as whether the snow is hard or soft, and wet or dry. To start, we have hard slabs. It's a slab avalanche of very dense, compact snow. This is the type of snow that maybe you don't really love to ski in the first place because your skis don't really sink into it, so it's not really good powder skiing. And then we have soft slabs. This is lower density snow. This is the type of slab that's probably kind of fun to ski. And we have wet snow. This is any avalanche that breaks in or entrains really wet, heavy snow, that type of springtime, mashed potato-y feeling snow. We also have loose snow avalanches, which can be wet or dry. And these release as a single point, kind of looks like a fan a little bit, and it will entrain really cohesionless snow. We also have cornices, and this is a mass of wind deposited snow that tumbles down the slope. You can only find cornices on ridge lines, maybe occasionally on cross-loaded slopes as well. And lastly, for avalanche types, we have glide snow avalanches. So this is the process of the entire snowpack sliding on the ground as a unit. And next we have avalanche problems. And this is the categorization of avalanches based on their physical attributes, formation, environments, and more importantly, I would say the travel management techniques, because how I'm approaching the mountains changes very much so based on the avalanche problems that I'm dealing with. So persistent slabs and deep persistent slabs, these are very similar. The main difference is that the weak layer that the slab is sliding on is buried deeper than 1 meter. But to start, the definition of a persistent slab is a cohesive slab of snow that is released when a persistent weak layer collapses. As an avalanche educator and backcountry ski guide, I think that persistent slab avalanches and kind of knowing these characteristics and knowing this problem type can be really, really important, because these account for the vast majority of avalanche fatalities anywhere. So kind of understanding the mechanics, understanding what they look like, understanding the definition in regards to persistent slabs, and more importantly, the travel techniques that I use when this is listed as a problem is really important. And then we have wind slabs and storm slabs. So sometimes people get really lost in trying to separate these two, and how I've come to think about it is a wind slab is formed by wind, and the storm slab is formed without wind being a factor. So a wind slab is a topical slab formed from snow transportation and compaction by the wind. It does tend to settle out within 48 hours, and the reactivity of that wind slab decreases over time, but you can still find one of those maybe a few days, maybe even a week after it was formed, and it could trigger, but it does settle out a little bit faster. And these are found on leeward aspects. So in regards to the mountains, we have our windward aspects, which is the side of the mountain that the wind comes from, and then the leeward aspect is the side of the mountain that the snow gets transported onto. And then storm slabs, like I mentioned. So again, these are formed really without the help of wind. They're formed through a snowstorm event via density differences between falling and surface snow. It quickly settles out, usually within 48 hours as well, but it can persist a bit longer, and it'll form anywhere the snow is falling. So wind slab, you'll predominantly find on the leeward side. The storm slab will be all over kind of the compass, all over the mountain. In regards to loose snow avalanche types, we have 2 problems. A loose dry avalanche is when dry snow releases from a single point, remember, like a point release, fanning out into a pyramid shape. It can run for very long lengths. You also hear these called slough avalanches. And the loose dry is just dry snow. It's a lighter density snow. And that's different than the loose wet. It has all the same characteristics in that it releases from a single point. It's that fan shape. It'll release at your feet if you're skiing. The main difference is that it's really wet snow. It's really springtimey snow. It can be caused by solar radiation or from rain on top of snow events. Wet slab avalanches are another type of wet snow avalanche. This is a cohesive layer of snow that's caused by meltwater weakening the bond between the slab and an underlying weak layer. So again, typically found during warming periods, tend to be on solar aspects. They can happen anywhere, but they do like to kind of release kind of later in the spring after you haven't gotten a freeze or a good deep freeze. You can find some wet slabs. And this snow is really, really heavy, really dense. It's just like concrete and seems pretty awful. Next, I'll talk about cornice fall and glide avalanches. So with cornice avalanches, again, this is the release of an overhanging mass of snow that's formed by wind deposits. It can cause sympathetic avalanches, like in this image right here. That's the trigger for the slab, is the cornice. And that would kind of be two different types of avalanche problems. And then glide avalanches, like I mentioned. This is really just the whole snowpack sliding down the mountain. The weak layer, so to say, or the bed surface, is the ground, and it occurs when the temperatures rise consistently and the water begins to flow underneath the snowpack, kind of lubricating that weak layer. The whole snowpack slides. Glide avalanches are really, they can be huge, they can be very deadly. Don't know of any stories of somebody surviving a glide avalanche, but the one nice thing about them is they only happen in very specific terrain features. So places where you have super steep, kind of planar rock slabs and really grassy areas is where you can see glide avalanches.